Half his daily income poured into the fuel cans of his ferry boat. Emmanuel Olu and his passengers complain that every day they cruise past the reminders of the oil Nigeria exports to the world. And yet even here, the price of gasoline keeps rising. As costs rise, I have to raise my fares, he says. So business is bad, because people can't afford to travel. Nigeria exports about 2 million barrels of oil a day, but its 4 oil refineries can only meet 10% of local demand. So most of the country's fuel is imported. The government has been subsidizing 40% of the price of imported fuel, but it warns soaring global oil prices give it no choice but to cut the subsidy. Hitting hardest the 70% of Nigerians living on less than $1 a day and sending ripples throughout the economy. When Nigerians buy their fuel from the pump, they're not just buying for their cars, but for generators for their businesses and homes. Many people here can go for days, maybe even weeks without electricity from the national provider. So without cheap fuel, they won't be able to afford their cars or even the most basic electricity. That's leading to growing frustration. This union leader says people are tired of government promises that money saved from lower subsidies will be used for development.
Each time we've had increases and they tell us that this increase is coming as a result of this, and that the money that will be saved from the increase will be used to build more roads, will be used for infrastructural development. And at the end of the day, nothing changes.
Armed militants, capitalizing on the lack of development and poverty, are now demanding a greater share of Nigeria's oil wealth. It's a vicious circle, as militant attacks on oil facilities here drive up fuel prices even higher worldwide.
Nigerians think, or have in their mind, that because we are an oil-producing country, we should have cheap petrol. It is very difficult to take that away from the perception of the public. And government has to weigh that against the need for them to pay for the population to pay the right price.
Emmanuel Olu and his ferry boat business are learning the lesson. Just as the world pays for his country's oil, now so must he. Christian Purefoy, CNN, the Niger Delta, Nigeria.